But before we take the next step, you have to anchor it, claim it as your own. Here's how. First, subscribe to the Lumination channel. Second, tap the bell so you never miss a single insight. Third, smash that like button. And finally, lock in this moment by dropping the number 444 in the comments below, your personal sign that this message found its way to you. Now let's dive in. Number one, your presence wasn't just a passing breeze. It was a storm that shattered the fragile walls they'd spent years building. Your spirit didn't just reveal their weaknesses, it ripped the veil clean off, exposing the insecurities they'd buried so deep even they had started to believe their own facade. It wasn't a soft awakening. It was a jarring collision with the truth they've avoided for so long. The image they curated, unshakable, superior, untouchable, crumbled in an instant under the weight of your unwavering light, leaving them face to face with the parts of themselves they'd worked so hard to hide. They spent years perfecting the mask, layering confidence over fear, charm over doubt, and control over chaos. But the moment they were in your presence, the mask began to slip. Your energy didn't attack, it simply existed, and that was enough to make the carefully hidden fractures in their foundation impossible to ignore. The truth they'd buried so deeply began to seep out, like water through a dam that couldn't hold any longer. And while they scrambled to hold it all together, you remained steady, a quiet force that made it clear. No illusion can stand in the presence of authenticity. What unsettled them the most wasn't anything you said or did. It was the effortless nature of it all. You weren't dissecting their words, questioning their motives, or trying to uncover their flaws. You were simply being rooted in a quiet, unshakable authenticity. And that was enough. Because truth doesn't need to force itself, it simply shines, and in its light, anything false crumbles under its own weight. It wasn't you who exposed them, it was the reflection of your truth that made their illusions impossible to sustain. That's the weight they carried, the suffocating realization that someone had glimpsed the truth they fought so hard to bury. It wasn't your force that broke them, it was your clarity. The quiet, undeniable light of your presence illuminated the parts of themselves they had spent years pretending didn't exist. For someone whose identity is tied entirely to the mask they wear, having it stripped away feels like losing everything. It wasn't destruction you brought, it was revelation. And sometimes being seen for who they truly are is the most terrifying thing of all. When someone is attacked, they can raise their walls, sharpen their words, and fight back with everything they've got. But when someone is truly seen, when the layers they've so carefully constructed are peeled back without force or effort, there's nowhere to hide. No armor can shield them from the gaze that reveals what they've tried to deny. No deflection can undo the exposure. It's not a battle they can win, because there is no battle at all. And that's why their reaction to you felt so raw, so unmeasured. They weren't fighting you. They were fighting the reflection of themselves they could no longer escape. They weren't battling you. They were battling the truth they saw in themselves, the truth your very presence brought to the surface. For them, it was like staring into a mirror they'd spent years avoiding, a reflection they weren't ready to confront. But for you, it wasn't intentional. It was simply who you are. You walk through life unfiltered, unshaken, refusing to shrink or soften your edges to make others feel at ease. And in doing so, you unknowingly became a catalyst for their